Guys, my name is Brooke and I'm a homeschool mom of two girls, and today I'm going to share with you our upcoming curriculum for our school year 2018-2019. I have a 5th and a 6th grader, which doesn't mean a whole lot in the homeschool world, but just to give you an idea, 10 and 11-year-old, and this is what we've chosen for the year. And it's our 3rd year of homeschooling, and it's going to be our first year doing classical conversation, so I'm going to be sharing that curriculum with you guys as well. And I'll let you know when that kind of starts in the video, because I don't want there to be any confusion. So the first part is stuff that I've chosen. There are things that are in addition to what we're going to be doing with classical conversation. All right, so I hope that's not too confusing. The first thing that we're going to be doing is teaching textbooks, Math 6, and we're coming off of 2 years of Math UC, which was a fine curriculum. We just wanted to try something different, so it was a little bit hard figuring out where to put them, and I went with a little bit easier level. They might have been able to get away with Math 7, but I don't know. I think this will be a good fit for them just because they can kind of zoom through the stuff that they already know, and then get into maybe it'll go a little bit slower on the things that they haven't learned yet, which is, what you're supposed to do in math. So there we go, teaching textbooks, Math 6. I hope I can come back with like a teaching textbook testimonial that says, oh, my kids hated math and now it's their favorite subject. So that's what we're hoping for. So I'm also going to have this just handy if we need it. I bought that. We haven't used it yet, but. And then something else that you do in addition to classical conversations, and it's actually kind of optional, but at my girls' age, I think it's appropriate, and that is spelling. And so for Ashley's spelling, we are doing sequential spelling. She's a struggling speller, and this is something brand new for us. I came across it, and it seems like it's going to be a really nice fit for her. I'm just going to show you kind of the front of it. There we go. So you start out with like the word all, and then you add a T to it to make it tall. Then you add an S to it to make it stall, and then you add MENT at the end to make it installment. So it's kind of exciting that in a very short, within, 5 words, they can go from the word in to the word installment. So I'm hoping this is, I hope she loves this. Something else about this particular spelling is that it's very teacher intensive. I will go through the whole lesson with her, which is perfect for us. That's a great fit for us. She tends to daydream or get a little distracted or kind of get stuck on something and just kind of freeze up. So anything that I can do with her from start to finish, it's going to get done that day. And if it's a 15-minute lesson, it'll take us 15, 16 minutes. So I like that, and sometimes I think that can be a turnoff sometimes with some people, but it's going to be a good fit for us. So now for Cameron, for spelling, she is a really good speller. So I always try to pick something that isn't just spelling. There's something a little extra with it. And this year we chose Word Roots, which is by the Critical Thinking Company. And I did get the PDF. That's why it's in this binder thing. I got the PDF and I just printed it off on wild paper because that's what I do. And so each week she's going to have some prefixes, maybe one word root and some suffixes, and that's what she'll learn. And so she will learn, like this week, I just want to lesson 1. So the prefixes on this sheet is peri, micro, and tele, and then the word root is scope, and so she learns how to spell and learns what those words mean, those parts of speech or parts of the word means, periscope, microscope, telescope. So just give you kind of that paper's a little distracting. I didn't use very many of those, but this is more like, I like that. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited to learn with her. Because I went into medical, my husband went into law, and so in both those professions, if we would have known a lot of what those word roots and the prefixes and the suffixes mean, that would have helped us kind of decipher some of the words and made it a little bit easier. And then for reading, we are just going to read really good books. That's what we've done in the past. I think our first year we did more work with it, more writing, but we do a lot of writing with our other subjects, so we just are going to read. The one thing that I will do with them, when they pick a book, I read with them the first couple of days to get those hard words out, any towns or crazy last names or whatever, and we go through that, and then we just to make sure that they're pronouncing those correctly throughout the whole book, and then also to get a feel for the book. You like the way this person is writing, because sometimes the story can sound amazing, and then you start reading it and you're like, I don't like this way this person's writing, or how this comes out, or it's too flowery and I don't like that, so and then that actually helps me to kind of introduce me to the story as well. So then they go off and they read on their own each day after that, until they finish the book, but then they come and tell me about the book. And so it's neat. It's fun to, they like to read on their own. So that's why I do it that way. But I do read with them the first couple of days just to make sure it's going to be a good fit. Okay. So a few things that we are going to do extra, because if you know me, I love supplemental, I love vocab, I love logic. This is something that I came across and I love it. I cannot believe I've never seen it before. This is by Queen Homeschool, and this is a vocabulary words of the week. Basically, you have a picture, you have a word that describes that picture and the definition, and then 4 synonyms. And each day, the kids copy a sentence, a really good sentence too, I might add, very rich sentences about this picture. And there's 18 weeks in this volume here, and I'm really excited about this. It feels like one of those simple but packs a punch kind of curriculum. So I think that my kids are going to get a lot out of this. They love vocabulary. They get compliments on their broad vocabulary. So I'm excited about doing this. Now, this person, if you've never seen her stuff, go to her website, queenhomeschool.com, because I would have been buying stuff all along from her. But at this point, with all the other stuff we have, I can't just keep having my kids work until 7 o'clock at night. So there are some other things, like she has cursive writing that I would really like to add to our day at some point. And then the other thing that we're going to do is this Building Thinking Skills by Critical Thinking Company. We got these last year and we worked through about half of them. And so we're going to continue to work out of these. And just as a side note, I did get the teacher guide, because I got all 3 of these on eBay for hardly anything. And it's been really helpful. I don't know how much it would be new, but I think this teacher guide really has been helpful. It's just one of those quick reference, just, so I don't have to sit there and read and figure out, if their answers are right or wrong. I mean, it's not super hard, but it's always easy to just, check it quickly. So, okay, so that's all like the non-classical conversation things. So I'm just going to go over quickly what we are doing in classical conversations. I don't want to talk too much about it, mainly because I don't know enough about it and I don't want to say something wrong. But I'm just going to give you kind of an overview of my first impressions, I guess, maybe, and just kind of tell you what it involves a little bit. So my girls will be in 2 different parts called the Foundations and the Essentials. The Foundations covers math drills, like just the math facts, not like working the problems or anything. Math, Latin, science, timeline, which is they memorize the timeline from creation to modern day. English, history, geography, fine arts, which involves art and music. So that's what Foundations covers, and there's memory work each week that everything's laid out for you. And a few things that we'll do in addition to just kind of supplement that is we have the CDs, and these are songs that go along with the timeline and what we're learning. They have these handy dandy cards that go with this, what you learn each week in science. I will be using both of these things to reference with the science, because we'll be doing probably a lot of notebook paging. I don't even know if that's a word, notebook paging. We'll be doing notebooking with our science, because that would be a lot of drawing, a lot of opportunity to draw. And then for the help with the timeline, we've got timeline cards, and these are classical conversations cards. For the history, we'll mainly probably be referencing the world history a little bit more. So we do have the American history, but I I don't think we'll be using that much this year. Geography, we do have a lot of maps back here. I should have got those out. But this is just supplemental to help reference. And then in the afternoon, they'll be doing what's called essentials, and that covers English and grammar, like sentence structure, diagramming sentences, and then writing as well. And so the writing is, just want to say this, is by IEW, and it corresponds with what we're learning in history. So I love that. It's going to be great to have both of those coinciding. And then it's actually written by IEW for classical conversations. So that's an awesome program. I've heard really great things about it. So we're excited to do that writing. And then the essentials portion of it, which I guess is like the sentence diagramming and that kind of stuff. And I just have these two things to help me, even though I don't know that we are even going to need it, because they give you everything you need. But I have these. So, and you know what this is actually the back of the nose tree Fix-It grammar that we did last year. And I'm just flipping through, trying to decide what I'm going to keep from last year, and I realized that this is a hardcover. Both of these, this is the back of the actual whole notebook. But once you tear off all the corrected sheets that your kids did all year that you really don't need, I don't feel like, you have a nice cover and the back cover. So, and this is just a glossary. It gives you capitalization rules, punctuation, end marks, sentences, clauses, and phrases. I mean, it's going to be a good resource. So, and the fact that we are using IEW, I think some things will transfer over. So that's what we are doing this year. I hope I didn't go too fast, but I always try to keep it under 15 minutes. So we are excited. If you guys have any suggestions or any comments, just leave them below. And anything you want to see further, I'd be happy to show anything further. I just try to do a really big, a fast overview. So I think that's it. Thanks again for watching, and I will be doing a homeschool room tour very, very soon. So stay tuned and have a great day. Thank you so much.